Hey everybody! I hope you're all doing well and feeling well. As you may have noticed, Emma Kay has been absent for quite some time, but thankfully we've got her with us today, ready to provide an update on the publication of her book, The Terrible Truth About the Truth. So, Emma, how far are you in publishing the book, and what other news can you share with your listeners?
Thank you for asking, Megan Alexa. And you are absolutely right. Unfortunately, I have been absent for quite some time, and my book publishing took way longer than expected. But here I am now, fresher and ready to reconnect with my followers and give them the greatest news ever that the terrible truth about the truth is now published and it is available at all popular book retailers such as Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Indigo Chapters, just to name a few.
Are you going to keep posting short stories as you used to do?
Yes, I will be posting short stories, even shorter, and most of them will be taken from my own book, The Terrible Truth About the Truth. I say most of them because you and I will also talk about other beautiful stories as long as they fit within my book's theme to never ever take anything for granted or teach our listeners to be the owner of their future as per Lucky Dube's song lyrics. Good things don't come to those who wait, they come to those who make them happen. Speaking of the interesting stories, would you have a nice story today that you can share with our listeners to get us started on the right foot?
Of course, Emma. I'd love to share a story that I'm sure would touch everybody, as much as it touched all of the classmates with whom I shared it. In 2019, Lucila Takjerad, now a Harvard alumnus, addressed fellow Harvard students within the framework of Harvard's commencement ceremonies. To set the tone for her story, she suggests that Harvard students are often told to do the most, although she would actually propose them to do the least.
Interesting. Did she explain why?
As a young girl, Lucila Takjerad, born and partly raised in Algeria, grew up living a very difficult lifestyle, as her parents struggled to make ends meet and were deprived of an education. As a matter of fact, Lucilla and her sister would cuddle against the winter's cold and had their weekly showers at a public bath as their home was persistently short of water and heat. And habitually, they would mask their hunger in order not to stress their parents. As the Civil War broke out within their country, she would pray every night that she wouldn't notice an empty seat at the dinner table one day. One day, her mother, at a local market, learned that the French government was allowing some Algerian refugees to find refuge from the Civil War. All there was to do was write your name on the list. The list would guarantee her children a positive future. She so desperately wanted to sign her name, but she was illiterate. With sorrow, she walked away. But then a man noticed her and caught her. He asked her name and wrote it for her, Favila Takjerad. A few months later, the Takjerad family was fortunate enough to emigrate to France, later allowing Lucilla to attend a school recognized as the best in the world. Isn't it beautiful? And I quote, "From the small seeds of his goodness have grown fruits of prosperity," end quote, for herself and everyone we meet. The key takeaway is that you don't need to move mountains to make a valuable contribution or change in somebody's life. As told by Takjerad, the least one can do can bring change.
What a beautiful story. Thank you, Megan, not only for sharing this beautiful story, but also for dedicating your time to our show. And I am confident that our fans will be happy to hear more stories from you. After listening to this beautiful story, I want to conclude today's talk with this thought that belongs to the singer-songwriter, my very own younger brother Ben Rutabana, in his song Imbaraga z'urukundo, the power of love. The kings and kingdoms will pass. The best and the worst will pass. But the love you gave will never pass. You will get it back down the road. You may not get it from who you gave it to, but one way or the other, you will get it down the road of your life.
Wow, Emma, thank you for sharing these words of wisdom. I'm pretty sure our listeners appreciated the message of love and kindness as I did, and will be looking forward to the publishing of your book, The Terrible Truth About the Truth. P.S. I hope everyone stays tuned for our next talk.